Hi, this is Alex Vukonich from the NATSA Education Committee, and I'm here today to give a brief overview of the DATAQ system. The DATAQ system is a system created for motor carriers, drivers, and enforcement agencies to file challenges to information stored in the Federal Safety Database, which is referred to as MCMIS or MCMIS. They established this system around February 2004, and it has been sort of working ever since. What can you do with the DATAQ system? The DATAQ system is basically used for three primary reasons. One is to request copies of roadside inspections if you did not get them from your driver. You can get copies of inspections from many states, but not all. The second and primary reason DATAQ system is used is to request the removal or correction of incorrect data within this federal system. It can also be used to file for corrections to audit results in a federal compliance review. This is so important as a motor carrier because your safety management scores, or SMS scores, from the CSA system are only becoming more and more important to the everyday operation of carriers. This information is public and it is utilized by brokers, insurance agents, shippers, people all over the country when they're trying to decide who are they going to hire to take this load. As a driver, this same federal database also houses the information that would be found on your PSP, or pre-employment screening report, from the FMCSA. The PSP report is probably one of the most powerful tools that you could use when you're making a hiring decision about a driver. It will show you that driver's 3-year history of roadside inspection, and it will show you 5 years of accident crash data for that driver. So along with his MVR, these are the two main things that are going to tell you the most, I think, about a potential hire. A common example of a DATAQ challenge would be something like this. You're checking your SMS scores. You notice that your carrier incurred a violation last month that you do not have a copy of. You call the driver. He has no knowledge of this thing ever happening. You're basically thinking that this was erroneously assigned to your DOT number. This is very common for a number of reasons. Sometimes the enforcement officer simply makes a typo when they're entering the DOT number into the system. You can go into the DATAQ system, log into this thing, and basically present your case. So you're going to pull whatever documentation you have that might refute this violation. For instance, if you see a violation for a broken taillight at a Colorado way station, and you know your driver was in, say, New Jersey at that time, you go into this system, you're going to upload this data, such as GPS data, bills of lading, scale crossings, whatever you have that proves that this should not have been assigned to your carrier. You submit this DATAQ challenge, or what they call a RDR, and the decision will be made at the state level as to whether or not to accept your correction, to deny it, or to move it to the appropriate carrier. A few things to keep in mind with DATAQ challenges. One, a somewhat recent change, in August 2014, they allowed for adjudication by a judge to be just cause for removing a violation from your SMS scores. So in other words, if you have a violation and a judge dismisses that ticket for whatever reason, as long as you can upload sufficient proof that that happened, the feds will remove that from your carrier record. One of the most desirable things to be removed from your record is typically an accident that you were not at fault for. The DATAQ system will not allow that to happen. If the accident was properly defined as a DOT reportable accident, then fault is not a concern for them in that situation. You may submit that DATAQ request, and what happens is you'll get a message that says, we are not going to remove this from your record, however, we will track this for statistical purposes for possible changes in the future as to the status of an at-fault accident. So important when you're doing this, make sure you have the best possible data to upload. Make your case as strong as possible when you're filing one of these challenges. There are many other resources that are available to talk more about this. They can be found through the actual DATAQ website. There's a link at the bottom of this ebook that will take you there, and I'd say probably the best tool is a thing called the DATAQ Analyst Guide, which is actually the instruction manual to the state level describing to them what they would consider a proper challenge or an improper challenge. So there's all kinds of examples in there that will tell you we would accept this, we wouldn't accept that. It's a huge resource. I definitely suggest checking it out. Reviewing your CSA scores on a monthly basis should be a normal part of your safety practices. You should be checking to make sure that all of this data is accurate at all times. If you have further questions, feel free to contact NATSA either through the website or through finding your local affiliate. There's a link at the bottom of the ebook for that as well, and we'd be happy to help you further. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and keep in mind this ebook is also available on the NATSA website. Let us know if you have questions, and we'll be happy to help.